So it's been no secret that Patrick Mahomes, as of late, hasn't been the same explosive player that he once was when he first came onto the scene in 2018, 2019, and 2020. And what is that? What is the reason and cause for this to happen? Over the last couple years, the Chiefs' offense has been less explosive. And, well, I think I've boiled it down to three main components, and we're going to get into it today. So if you guys enjoyed, make sure to subscribe to never miss a video on this channel. Let's get right into this. The number one reason I think that Mahomes' deep numbers have been off is just going to be talent. I'm just going to flat out say it. Kelsey's been getting older. He's still not the same dominant tight end he used to be. And they lost Tyreek Hill a couple years ago, which at first it wasn't really that big of a deal, I don't think. But I think especially as of late, it's really been affecting them. They have no true separator, to be honest. They have no true number one. I mean, Rashee Rice has been a good route running, middle of the field wide receiver for them, but he hasn't really been the guy to open the playbook deep. So they go out and sign Tyquan Thornton, former Patriot, by the way, and hopes of him being the next Tyreek Hill. Well, that wasn't the case. As we're going to see here, this should have been a catch. I believe this should have been a catch. That was a perfectly thrown ball. What is going on here is that when you're running, this is going to be an out and up. You're going to run out to the sideline to try to get that corner to bite, and then you're going to break it back up the sideline like so. What you want to do is get this corner who's playing, so far off the ball here, we could see. You want him to bite down, so you want him to drift back, and then you want him to bite. You want him to bite at the out, but he never really bites. He just kind of stays drifting back to the sticks because I think he knows he's going to end up taking it deep. So Tyquan isn't really the scariest of receivers when it comes to route running. I think, his only real thing is the speed. So I think the corner knows that. He just never bites down, and it hurts the route because then, like I said, he ends up squeezing him to the sidelines. Still could have caught it, I believe. I still think it was an amazing throw from Mahomes, but the overall talent of the Chiefs roster has been depleted, and I think it has been showing. So you're going to see it right there as he runs the out there. The corner just never bites. He stays open in his hips. I mean, look at the space he's giving him still. And then up the sideline, he squeezes him. And, yeah, it's just hard when you're not working with Tyreek Hill, who can, threaten a DB anywhere on the field. So it's definitely hard. I still think this should have been caught. I really think that should have been a caught ball. I mean, it's in your hands. It's still a good play by the corner, but it should have been caught. So, yeah, the main reason I believe is just been talent. I don't think that's really a shocker to anybody. With Kelsey getting older, you don't have Tyreek Hill anymore. Rashee Rice has been a good intermediate to outside the numbers receiver for you, but he's not the guy to open up the playbook. And, yeah, outside of him, there's nobody where you're really like, okay, we need to be ready. Reason number two why I think the Chiefs haven't been as explosive is I think teams are just ready for it. We're going to see it here. It's 3rd and 4. You expect the Chiefs to go deep, but not the Giants. The Giants are ready for what the Chiefs end up dialing up, and they run something called bracket coverage. I'll explain it very quickly for those of you who do not know what bracket coverage is. You're going to have the high safety up here playing anything that goes outside, and then you're going to have the corner down here, I believe. Where are we at here? I believe right here. He's going to play anything that goes inside the numbers. So bracket coverage, it essentially forms a bracket. So you have the guy playing outside, and then you have the guy playing inside. And what this does, it's supposed to close anything deep, which the Chiefs do go deep here. So if he runs that post, you have somebody drifting to the outside, you have somebody working the inside, and you essentially have nowhere to go. So I think a lot of teams, especially when they had Tyreek Hill still, played this bracket coverage where they had the one to the in, and then the safety on the out, and then the corner on the in, and form this bracket. So it's interesting because while teams don't do this all the time against the Chiefs, I still think they play it quite a bit. We'll see it here. I don't think I was even right on the corner. I wasn't. But we'll see as he gets up into his post. You see how the safety here is drifting outside. He's ready. And then you have the corner who, is trailing, who did get beat. But the safety's ready for him to break outside because that's what he thinks he's going to do. But as he breaks back inside, it allows the corner to get back in position. So it brackets him into this closed space, which, takes away the deep ball super, super effectively. A lot of too high shells is what teams are running against the Chiefs a lot nowadays. So when you run too high shells plus this bracket coverage on their best deep threat receiver, it's hard to push the ball down the field. You see the corner there get back into position once he makes his in cut there. It's hard to push the ball down the field when, you have teams knowing what you want to do and they're ready for the deep ball like this. The Giants, I think, played this beautifully, and it's third down. You got your defense off the field. And Mahomes makes a good throw, but it's just not there. It's not there. And last but not least, I believe the Chiefs did actually address this, but the number one reason I believe the Chiefs' offense hasn't been so explosive is the run game. Now, let me explain what I mean by that, because people would say, well, how does the run game tie into the deep passing game? Well, when you have a run game that teams are so afraid of, you can't run too high shell. We've seen it a lot this past year and the year even before that. Teams were running the ball a lot more, and we kind of seen a revival of running backs. So when teams are running the ball on you down your throat, it doesn't allow you to sit in this too high shell like that. You have to bring your safety down in the box, or you have to rotate them into cover 3. There's things you have to do. Maybe play him down in the box too and just play straight man-to-man. But look at the cushioning that these corners are giving their receivers with the too high shell. This is the defense that is the Patrick Mahomes kryptonite, whatever you want to call it, because they are sitting on the fact that they're ready for you to go deep. They're playing too high, so if you try anything, it's not going to be there. So when you have a running game that is deadly and so explosive, which they did sign Kenneth Walker, it forces these safeties to have to play higher up. It just does, because if they're playing man-to-man, they have to play lower in the box now to play this run, which just hasn't been there for the Chiefs. Isaiah Pacheco was a good option for them, do not get me wrong, but nobody was ever scared of Isaiah Pacheco, just one cut and go up the gut and breaking it off for a touchdown. So they were able to sit back and be like, okay, Mahomes, we know what you want to do. We know you can't run and beat us that way. We're going to make you push it down the field. And it takes away a lot of Mahomes' explosiveness. So there's a lot of factors that go into the running game, more than just the running back, of course. You have the offensive line play. You have who's the back, who's your power back, your third down back, receiving back, who is your go-to guy. And I think them signing Kenneth Walker could definitely open up Patrick Mahomes again, because I think if this is Kenneth Walker, I believe this is a touchdown. I think this was an amazingly blocked play. It's an outside zone. So I think if this is Kenneth Walker, this is a touchdown. So they did address it. And I think that's amazing, because this year I think we will see the safeties have to play lower. Now it also comes back down to the receivers. Will they be able to handle the workload? Will Tyquan Thornton be able to catch? So there's a lot of factors into it. And I think the Chiefs addressed it nicely. But yeah, those are the three main components that I personally could find when watching the film. That's all I got for you guys though today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Uploaded again this week. So, hey, so if you guys did enjoy though, make sure to subscribe, comment down below what you guys think about the Chiefs offense and how they did in the draft this year, and with what they did in free agency. I'm curious to hear. And as always, I will see you guys next time.